Well, I wish I could say that this surprises me, but it does not. The Chicago Bulls have released Jaden Ivey from his contract after his remarks, and we're going to talk about it all and more right after this. What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content for today, y'all. And the Chicago Bulls have officially waived Jaden Ivey after his anti-LGBTQ remarks recently on a live stream on Instagram. Many people will know that Jaden Ivey has been going through something. It's been a serious spiral of Jaden Ivey on social media over the last couple of days, in which he's been talking about, using his religion to talk about things and stuff like that. Not to say that that's necessarily a problem, right? Because it is what it is. You're going to talk. You should have the right to talk about your religion and stuff like that. Where Jaden Ivey went wrong at is that he used that as a platform to talk down to people, right? Like those type of things, saying basically, one of the first weird ones was when he said the Pistons wouldn't matter after such and such, but even to comments on his Instagram basically saying that people weren't going to get into heaven and the unholy and unjust had no right for confession and stuff like that. And it all culminated today in him talking about Pride Month with the NBA and basically talking about Pride Month. And immediately when that happened, we knew something crazy was going to happen, man. And it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. I will say this, with only 8 games being left in the season, Jaden Ivey's probably gotten paid all the money on his contract. Maybe he was going to get one more payment this season, so maybe the Bulls save on that. But this does put the Bulls in a situation where Jaden Ivey's cap hold is no longer going to be there for the team. And I feel weird making this about let me know if this is distasteful, please. And I really do mean that, right? Because I don't want to make it seem like, hey, the Bulls are benefiting from it by this. But, the cap holds are a thing. And, cap holds you would have to renounce or whatever to actually use the cap space. Now you're not going to have that with Jaden Ivey. His cap hold isn't going to be there hurting the Chicago Bulls. So take that for what you will. His cap hold was going to be I can't find it, and I don't want to hold you guys up on exactly what was going to be. That's Jalen Smith. Jaden Ivey's cap hold was going to be about $30-ish million on his cap hold. So take that for what you will. The Chicago Bulls are, they're not going to have that cap hold anymore with them waiving him. And hey, this is unfortunate, but this is just another step in his situation and just Jaden Ivey's just overall downfall. Like the beginning of last season before he broke his leg, Jaden Ivey was looking at, signing a huge contract. If Jaden Ivey didn't get hurt last season and was healthy last season and this season with how he's playing, you're probably looking at Jaden Ivey commanding $30-35 million on the market. Now he doesn't even have a contract, right? And nobody's probably going to come close to Jaden Ivey in regards to this offseason at all, even with him being an unrestricted free agent. So that's just the reality of it. And I don't know what else to tell y'all, man. It's really unfortunate that this happened to Jaden Ivey because, this is a player that did have some promise. But, things are bigger than basketball. And once you get to talking about the LGBTQ community in this era that we live in the NBA, you're done. Like, that's just the reality of it. You are done if you do something like that. And it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise at all. So, hey, it's unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. Like I said, we should have went after Connect. Who? Dalton Connect? First of all, no. Dalton Connect is trash. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, trading Isaac Okoro for Dalton Connect, I get it, but Dalton Connect is not looking good. So no, I'm good on that. I'm good on not going with Dalton Connect. The way he talks to his followers is wild. It's definitely wild the way he was talking to his followers that the other day. It's definitely wild. So we're going to see what that means and what's going to happen with him going forward. This is completely unexpected, but hey, we can never have shit in the Chicago Dog. It's being so up and down. Every time we see some semblance of upside, there's some setback going on since Ron Harper injury and Jay Will. Well, I mean, I don't know if we ever really saw any upside with Jaden Ivey. Like, I think what I will say with this is this probably is going to solidify the Chicago Bulls to try to keep Colin Sexton and draft a guard if the guard's the best available. So we'll see. We'll see. Fucking hate this organization. Why do you hate this organization? What does it got to do with the organization? Like, they made the right decision. Praying for that kid. I feel like he's dealing with a lot mentally, and no one knows what that kid has gone through since the injury. I hope he finds the help that exactly. And that is the thing that I really want to say with this one is that I hope throughout, fuck the basketball shit for a second, right? We'll fuck the basketball. The hope is that Jaden Ivey gets the help that he needs, both physically to recover from the injury and mentally. Because it's clear, and because one thing that's lost in all the crazy stuff that he said, one thing that he said that made me feel for him is that he's like, I've never known, I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, I've never known unconditional love. I've never known that. Keep in mind, this kid's mom is a basketball coach. So like him saying that, I don't know how you cannot feel for somebody that says something like that, right? And that's just the reality. That's just the human element. The human element is always going to make me feel for people. That doesn't mean that I agree with what he said. It doesn't mean or anything like that. But the reality of it is that, I mean, he needs help. Jaden Ivey needs some serious help, man. He needs some help because there's something going on with that kid in life that we don't understand, we're not seeing and stuff like that, and something needs to happen. Something has to happen. I guess we'll see what that ends up being for the Chicago Bulls. For Jaden Ivey and what he ends up doing with it. He isn't mental. He's out. No. When you see this, it's not just outspoken. Yeah. When you say that, you got to actually, if you watch, you're talking about somebody who literally went from talking about not feeling loved to LGBTQ to randomly, I like apple pie. That's mental health, bro. There's no way around it. That's mental health. That is a mental health thing. So he is absolutely dealing with something mental health wise. There's just no way around it. See, and this is where nobody's talking about him believing in the Bible. See, this is where you're going wrong at. That has nothing to do with his belief in the Bible. What he's doing and how he's doing it, it's a clear mental health thing. Clear mental health thing. Damn, somebody needs to check on him. Please pray for him. Where's his mom at? Coaching somewhere. Definitely coaching. Waving Ivy for a clown for more. But again, it's not about your beliefs don't say anything about you talking down to a group of people and saying that they're unright. That's not that. And even in the comment section, I'm sorry, here's the thing. I think people need to realize freedom of speech means that you have freedom of speech in your day-to-day life. When you have a job, there's a code of conduct that you have to live into with your job that has nothing to do with freedom of speech. The NBA has a code of conduct against this type of stuff. So you're directly in conflict with that. This isn't about whether you agree or disagree with it. This has nothing to do with whether you agree or disagree with what he said. The simple fact is that you have a code of conduct by being a player, being employed by the NBA. And you have opened yourself up now to not have your job there. That's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. Saying waving him as a clown move is crazy, bro. This is still a business, bro. The Bulls have a lot of fans from the LGBTQ community. Absolutely. The NBA has, and I wouldn't be surprised if the NBA put some pressure on the Bulls in this one. I would not be surprised at that at all, personally. Human element, sure. Call it insensitive, but according to Grok, 60% of Americans don't have 6K to their name and have the same issues as rich people. Difference is rich people can buy help. Normals can't. I feel you. I feel where you're coming from on that one. Haize, I tried to tell you last week that something was off about him, and you told me that we wasn't talking about Jaden Ivey, so I left it alone. Well, you were talking about his reactions on the bench, right? And at that time, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm mistaken, but at that time I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, he's not out there playing. He wants to play basketball. So I took that at that because that was before any of the social media shit happened. So I just took it as, yeah, I'm sure that he's hurt by not being able to play, and he was having the best season of his career, and he probably wants to play. That's what I took it at this time. But hey, you were right, because clearly something's definitely going on. It's going on with him. It's clear. It's clear. Pickle says, I'm not talking about Haize, but it's crazy how so many people don't know the construction and anything but always comment on it. The Constitution and anything. My bad, I read that wrong. Freedom of speech doesn't apply to your employment, NBA or otherwise. Exactly. 100%. It does not apply at all to your employment. Ivy Wyland, man, are you smoking Sherm in my Jamie Foxx voice? That's crazy. Will he get fined for this too? It's really sad to see him go out like this. His time in Purdue and last year with the Pistons was really fun to see. He could very well. I mean, the fine will come more so from the NBA. They very well could fine him from this. The NBA could still suspend him. Like, keep that in mind too. More than a fine, the NBA could suspend him. Very, very much so. So we'll see what happens here. Haize, you're like the big brother I never had, for real. Keep going. Oh, I appreciate you, bro. You've been around for a long time. That's why, I'm not trying to argue with anybody, right? And that's why I say it's not about whether you agree or disagree with them, because you can agree with them with his thoughts, but like your employment, it is what it is. Real shit, need to get him help before he hurts himself or someone else. Religious psychosis is strong. Maybe he's got undiagnosed schizophrenia. Listen, I don't want to get into diagnosing people or anything like that. I don't feel comfortable doing that, so I don't want to do that. But yeah, man, I just hope that he gets help that he needs it. Two things you can't do publicly: one is talk about folks with the star on their flag, and two, talk distasteful about the LGBT community. For real. I mean, hey, it is what it is. The players' union should step up on this. Not saying he's right, but you shouldn't lose your career behind this. I mean, listen. The thing is that the code of conduct was agreed on by the players' union. I mean, they could probably try to cut a fine, stop a fine, or if the NBA tries to suspend them, they could try to step in and get the suspension, cut back or something like that. Let's not say he lost his career yet. I mean, he could very well get blackballed. But I'm not going to act naive like I don't know the NBA can blackball people. He can very well get blackballed from this, and no team could touch him. I mean, that's just the reality of what could happen here. I'm not going to act like that's an impossibility. Good segment, bro. Keep up the good work. Appreciate you, Frederick. Appreciate you, brother. I think I'm done with this franchise. I mean, hey, rights even given to me by businessmen. Rights aren't given to me by businessmen. You're right, but if you work for a business, then they have the right to fire you and not retain your employment. You can still have your right to go and talk however you want to, but the job has the ability to tell you, okay, that's fine. You can have your beliefs, but you can't work here no more. That's just the reality of it. Bull should be offering help. Waiving him is the right move, but the man needs help. And I do hope that he gets the help that he deserves, for sure. And this is the thing. Any believer of God will understand. Here's the thing. And this is where we get, because y'all may know that I was a deacon, but also God tells us to not judge. So again, like, people want to live by the word of God only when it suits them and something that they want to say. But the word of God also tells you to not judge people, and that's literally what that's doing. Like if you that without sin can cast the first stone. So none of us have that. So none of us should be casting judgment on any group of people, for that matter. No matter what they do, what people do with their own private life is between them and God. It's way too many people that's worried about where other grown men are sticking their dicks at and where other grown women are rubbing their pussies at. It's too much of that in society. Stop worrying about what other people do. Stop using your religious beliefs to try to give you credence to judge another group of people. That's stupid. And that also is against the word of God if that's what we're using. I'm just saying. So if you're going to say believers in the word of God, are you only believing in part of it when it suits what you want to say? I'm just saying. So, but like I said, for all of that, it has nothing to do with his ability. Freedom of speech does not apply to your job. It just doesn't. It does not apply to your job. Haize, I hate the sound to sound prejudiced, but do you notice that black folks always try to preach the Bible only when it's convenient? Okay, I know I started it, so we're gonna stop it. Let's get this back on basketball, right? Let's get this back on basketball. So overall, right, the fact of the matter is this: the Chicago Bulls waive Jaden Ivey via the player conduct agreement. They are in the right to do that. That's the reality of it. He's no longer going to be a Chicago Bull. What the NBA decides to do, they can decide to do some things going forward. If they want to fine him, if they want to suspend him, we'll see if any of that happens. But as it stands right now, it's no longer the Chicago Bulls' problem. So we'll see what happens here. But all right, y'all. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys are following us at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, but that is thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See red if you can, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.